We are back creating our redstone house, and I just have to say, I put so many redstone creations into this first floor, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of our Let's Build series, where we're trying to create the best redstone house in Minecraft Pocket Edition. So far, we have 10 amazing redstone creations inside this very nice looking house, and today we're going to be adding in some more. We're going to be adding in a 4-digit item frame combination lock, an auto armor equipment station, as well as a redstone door for the front door of our house. Now, two things before we get started with this video. First things first, I know I haven't uploaded an episode for the series in over a month. I know I say I would keep uploading them weekly, but the last video I actually recorded for the series was completely unusable. I recorded the audio wrong, and that's the second time that's happened, and it takes about 2 hours just to make one of these episodes, so you can understand why that is kind of demotivating me. But I am back, and this time I went ahead and changed something with my channel, which is the second announcement. The second announcement I have is that I combined redstone tutorials with the series to make it a higher priority, so you'll definitely see the series a lot more on my channel. If you guys like that idea, be sure to crush the like button and leave a comment down below. And one of the main reasons why I combined it with my redstone tutorials is because, one, it works very well, and two, is that we've basically done every single redstone creation there is to do, and that is also Minecraft Pocket Edition combined with PC, so there's really nothing left to do. And if I do figure out something new, I will definitely upload like a separate redstone tutorial for that. But either way, I combined the series, and that will definitely make these uploads more frequent. Either way, I thank you all for listening to my rambling, but let's go ahead and start building. The first thing we're going to build is our 4-digit item frame combination lock. As you guys can see, I had to dig up pretty much everything and restart it. So we're going to create our item frame combination lock. You need a 7x5 area, I believe, and once you have that, you want to go ahead and grab yourselves a block of your choice. I'm just going to use quartz for now, and then you want to basically place on your quartz one block to the front of that 7x5 area and also one block into the air. So it's basically just going to be a 7x5 hole behind you, and then once you have that, you want to build out a 3x3 area of the blocks of your choice. Place down our item frames on the corner of those blocks, and then place down arrows in those item frames. And it's very important that you place down the arrows into the item frames at the very start. Now, it did begin raining, so that's going to be quite annoying, but either way, let's go ahead and continue building this. To build this up, you want to grab some more blocks of your choice, build out one block down here, one block over there, grab yourself some redstone repeaters, and place down redstone repeaters coming out of those blocks. They should be activated, and now what you want to do is basically invert them, and that basically means turning on this light right over here. Once you have that, you want to place down 2 more blocks right above our redstone comparators, and then place down some more redstone comparators that are inverted. Now what we need to do is grab ourselves some more blocks of our choice, build out 2 blocks here, 2 blocks there, do the same thing on the other side, and then grab ourselves another redstone comparator, place it down in these following locations, and just keep them on the original settings. And then you want to grab yourselves a hopper from your creative menu. Let's just go ahead and grab that, place down a hopper right behind our redstone comparators, just like that. And then what we need to do is grab ourselves some more blocks of our choice, and what I'm going to do is actually grab a different color block, that way you guys can see this easier, and basically build out 2 blocks over here, 2 blocks there, 2 blocks there, and there. Then you want to grab yourselves a redstone repeater, place it facing towards this direction on all of these blocks, basically copying it 4 different times, and then place down redstone dust right behind those blocks, and they should now be activated. Then we want to grab ourselves another block of our choice, build out 1 block here, there, and there, place down redstone dust here, and basically all along those blocks. Make sure you destroy this one if you accidentally place redstone dust, and now we can start building up the rest of this system. Now, to build up the rest of our system, I'm going to place down a block right over here and over there, then grab myself a sticky piston, place it down there with a regular piston right on top facing towards that direction, and then basically do the same thing on the other side. Then I want to destroy these blocks at the bottom because they're just temporary blocks, and then grab ourselves our block again and place down Or actually, you know what we need to do? We need to grab ourselves another sticky piston and place the sticky piston right on the side of this hopper facing down. So I almost forgot that. Then we need to place down a block on the face of that, and then a block right over here, there, and there. Alright, so there you go. Then we come on over to the other side, grab ourselves another sticky piston, and then crouch and place it on the side of that hopper. It should be extended. Place a block on the face of that sticky piston, and then place a block on the face of this sticky piston. One block here, one block there, and get away from me, skeleton freaking horse. That is so weird. I've never seen one of those in nature before. But anyways, let's go ahead and grab ourselves some more blocks of our choice. Fill out this area at the back. Place down one block in the middle. Grab ourselves a redstone torch. Place one over here, one over there. Place down a redstone repeater going into that block from either ends, and then another redstone torch right on top. Grab yourself some redstone dust, place down redstone dust here and there. It should invert that torch, and place down redstone dust there, and then basically do the same thing on the other side. And then we have our system now completed. Now, for an extra touch, I'm just going to place down a row of blocks right in the middle. Grab ourselves a bunch of redstone repeaters and place it just like that. It's going to power the block at the direct center. Let's just go ahead and destroy that block, and then grab ourselves a redstone lamp, and it should be located right in this menu, and there you go. So now that lamp is activated, and if I go ahead and just switch some of these blocks, as you guys can see, it will basically turn that light off. So obviously it's not perfect compared to the PC version, but it does still work. And to change the configurations of the actual passcode, you would just add a certain amount of items into those hoppers. I will try to link it down below. If I don't remember, you can go check out the original tutorial where it will give you all of the positions. And for those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, basically each one of these arrows in the item frames have 1 out of 8 positions. This is the first position. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, obviously going around the entire thing. And the default setting is obviously going to be all in position 1, but you can change it to any configuration that you like. And as you can see, once we change it to the proper passcode, it's going to turn on that light, as well as we could take the signal and add it to pretty much anything else. The idea that I had was to pretty much add it into a hidden elevator, which we'll take into the ground. Obviously, we're not going to build that in this episode, but in future episodes, we'll definitely implement that. But yeah, one thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of skeleton horses, and I think that's happening because the lightning is striking the horses. I'm not sure. Tell me how that happens, but yeah, there's a lot of them. And is that a wolf coming towards my property? Oh my goodness, dude. Get away from me. My wall isn't built out yet. Don't freaking attack me. All right, so next up, we have to build our redstone doorway, and to do this, we want to grab the following blocks. We want to grab all of our redstone blocks, as well as we want to grab some glass, as well as our stone slabs, and then we can get started with building this. Here we go. And what you want to do is pretty much destroy 2 blocks right over here. And just for the sake of you guys being or building it in the same amount of dimensions, this block is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks long. And then we have like 4 blocks over here with 2 blocks destroyed in the middle. Then I dig down 2 layers, place down sticky pistons facing up right in these positions. And I fill this out with 2 of our stone slabs. That way they get pushed by the sticky piston. And then what I do is I pretty much just have a space of 5 over here, and that actually perfectly lines up with the ceiling, so I could place down 2 sticky pistons facing down right in these locations, and then place down 2 of our glass right on the face of that. And when they're both activated, they should go ahead and close and create a simple piston door. Now what I'm going to do is place down 2 of our redstone repeaters here, then place down a block of my choice right over here, and then I place down a redstone torch on top of that, another block over here, and I'm actually going to create a an area using our gray clay. That way it like blends in a bit more. So there you go, gray clay, and then place down another torch there. And then before we place this down, we place down a block over here on top of that redstone torch, and then another redstone torch on the side of that block. So be sure you remember to do that. And then you grab yourselves a redstone lamp from our creative menu yet again, and place it down there, and it should now be lit. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish up the system, and it's actually quite easy. Alright, so let's continue what we were doing. I'm going to destroy this layer of blocks right over here. That way I could get enough space to add in a redstone repeater into that block. That way we can invert that torch, and we basically just need to connect this redstone up together. And since there's 2 inverted torches over here, we don't have to worry about, you know, having a different input for the top sticky pistons. But anyways, let's go go ahead and grab ourselves some of our stone slabs and place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 right over here. Place down another redstone lamp right over there, and then grab yourselves a block of quartz, and then we're going to basically use this quartz to fill out the top area. So let's go ahead and just place down a quartz there, place down another redstone torch there, grab ourselves a redstone repeater, place down a redstone repeater here and there, basically on the sides of the redstone lamp, place down a bit of redstone dust there. As you guys can see, it will be off, but once that system is inverted, it will turn on. Place down redstone dust here and there, that will activate our pistons, and then another bit of redstone dust there, which will turn off the light. Now what we need to do is basically add in a T flip-flop to this, and also add in some sides to our walkway. So what I'm going to do is build this out by 2 extra layers, and once I have that, I'm going to grab this block from our creative menu, which is the birchwood planks. Yet again, I'm using a texture pack, which you could find in the description, but you would basically place down our blocks right in front of this area to hide that redstone, which is also 1 block behind our redstone lamp. So just build up 2 like this, and then place down our stone slabs right over here to fill in the gaps. And then what I want to do is go ahead and grab myself a button from our creative menu. So let's just go ahead and do that. Place our button right over here. I already had an area dug out because yet again I had to redo all of this. And I would basically place down redstone dust here, coming from our button, going down into the underground area so we could create a T flip-flop. And to create our T flip-flop, we've done this time and time again. We would simply grab ourselves a dropper as well as a hopper. There you go. Place down a redstone repeater right over here, which is going to get a signal from this block. Place down a hopper, or a dropper facing up, excuse me, with a dropper facing towards this direction. You place that down by crouching. Place down another dropper facing towards this direction. And finally a hopper going into this dropper right over here. And you do that by crouching it again. Place down a single item into the first dropper that you place down. It could be any item of your choice. Then you grab yourselves a redstone comparator, place it coming out of this dropper going into a block or into a bit of redstone dust. Then place down a redstone repeater here, redstone dust there, and going under this area. And as you guys can see, I already have everything basically mapped out, and I staircase this up and it connects to our redstone dust up there. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Now, as you guys can hear in the background, there is a lot of freaking thunder going off, and oh my god, it's striking right in this area. No wonder there's so many of these skeleton horses. Gosh, I'm living in the worst possible location. I have to remember not to make anything out of wood, especially in my house, because it's going to burn down whenever it rains. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now what I need to do is basically come back around here, hit this button, and as you guys can see, it will create our piston door, and when our door is open, the lighting will turn on. So yeah, that's basically what I came up with, and it actually took me a lot shorter amount of time to do this than in the last episode, so I'm kind of happy with that. So the rain stopped. Now you can see the floor. Now the floor is obviously not 100% completed because I'm not sure where the walls are going to be located, but at the moment, as you guys can see, we have 2 different levels made out of 2 different types of blocks, which is what I wanted. This one lines up with the garage and the passcode lock input area, as well as the elevator, and then you go up to another level, which basically lines up with the top of the treasure room, as well as the area which we're going to use to build our auto armor equipment station. So I'm not sure how I'm going to lay this out yet, but if you guys go ahead and pause the video right here, take a screenshot of that, and then draw in the lines of where you want me to add in walls and bedrooms, as well as kitchens and whatnot, I would really appreciate that, because so far I really have no clue, and depending on the redstone creations, I might make the house bigger. But either way, let's go ahead and create our auto armor equipment station. This is going to be quite easy, and I dug out a, what is this, a 3x3 area, and once you have that, you just want to place down 2 sticky pistons right at the center facing up with a block of your choice right on top of that. I'm going to make it quartz, that way it sticks out, and then I am going to grab myself some redstone repeaters, place down 1, 2, 3 right over here, set this to 4 ticks, just like that. There you go. And then set this one to 4 ticks as well. Place down 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks right over here, and 2 blocks at the back. And then we need to place down 1, 2, 3 blocks right over here. Set this one to 3 ticks and leave this on the original tick delay, excuse me. And then place down redstone dust here and there. Once you have that, you want to place down redstone dust there, there, and there to connect it all up together. Grab yourselves some more blocks of your choice, build out 2 this direction, and build out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the one over here we place down is going to be 6. Anyways, we need to grab ourselves some redstone repeaters, place one going into that sticky piston, place down another one right over here, here, and there to make 4 in total. Set this all to 4 ticks. There you go, and then place down a bit of redstone dust there, and here you can destroy this block at the end and destroy this block over there at the end because our redstone dust is connecting up. Then what we need to do is basically place down our dispensers, and to do this we first need to grab ourselves some dispensers. And since this is pretty much inside of a hole, I don't need to place down any other blocks. I just need to come to this area and activate the system. I'm placing down a bit of redstone dust right over here. There you go. And you want to place down our dispensers on the level of this extended piston area. So basically, I place down a dispenser right over there, right over here, facing towards the middle, here, and finally right over there. So there you go. Now we need to turn the system off by destroying this redstone torch. And once we have that, it will basically send our piston back down since it is a double piston extension. Now what I need to do is basically place blocks in between all of these dispensers. And pretty much what's going to happen is that we're going to power one of these 4 blocks, or actually 2 of these 4 blocks. So if I go ahead and power this one to the right, it's going to power 2 of these dispensers. So that's basically what's going to happen. We're going to power 2 of them and in turn power 4 dispensers. And if you guys don't understand what I'm saying, just ignore me and just continue with what I'm building. So what we need to do now is basically build down 2 blocks from this area at the back, then build down 2 blocks from this area right over here, destroy that block and that block, place down a redstone torch there. You should hear 2 dispensers being activated, then do the same thing on the other side. Grab yourselves some of our blocks of our choice and then build out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 blocks out. And I'm not sure if this is the amount we actually need, but I mean, just build out as much as you can. And there's like a tight fit over here, so I'm just building out, you know, the maximum amount that I can. So anyways, do the same thing on the other side. Build out 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to keep that at 4. That way it lines up. Place down 1, 2, 3, 4 redstone repeaters going into that 1 redstone torch. Do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or actually, just place down 4, I meant. And then connect this up using some more blocks of our choice. So this one actually needs to be 1 block further, so I guess you would need just 5 blocks in total. Anyways, let's go ahead and set these all to 4 ticks, and you want to make sure it is all on 4 ticks, otherwise it's not going to work. Place down redstone dust here, here, and all along here until it connects up. And then you want to change this into, 4 tick delay as well, so let's just go ahead and do that. Boom, there we go. And then we need to grab ourselves some more blocks of our choice, build out 1 here, and I really don't know how to connect this up. So what is going on right now? So I think I need to connect this redstone dust up to that bit of redstone dust, and to do this I'm just going to wrap this around right over here, place down redstone dust there and there, here, there, and all along here, and there you go. So I'm just going to place down redstone dust there, and that should be all of our redstone now connected up. And then what we could do is place down a block right over here, place down a repeater going from this direction towards that direction, so it's still getting powered. Place down a redstone torch here to activate the system, and then a block right over there. And you know, actually this won't work. We need to place down a block up like this, up like that, and then a redstone torch there, and now it should activate this entire system. And now what I need to do is basically destroy this block over there, destroy this block over here, this block over there, place redstone dust here, there, and then basically staircase it up. And now when I add in a signal to, say, this block right over there, it should go ahead and pretty much just create our system. So you know what, let's go ahead and just test this out because I'm getting confused on my own right now. I'm going to fill in this area, and I'm also going to extend this redstone right to this side just like that. place down a block right over here, and also have to load up the dispenser. So I'll just be right back and I'll show you guys if it is working. So here we go. I loaded up the dispensers and I added in my button. I just need to stand in the right position and I should get armor placed onto my body. So as you can see, I have no armor currently on my body. I stand at the corner of this block since MCPE is weird, and then I go ahead and hit this button. When I fall down into the ground, it should place the armor onto my body, and as you guys can see, it is working. Wow, I totally built that blindly, and I wasn't actually sure it was going to work, but either way, it does work, and that is our auto armor equipment station. So anyways guys, that is pretty much going to wrap up today's episode of our Let's Build series. Before we go, I would like to know, would you want to see more of this series or not? Tell me in the comment section down below, as well as like the video if you want to see more, and don't forget to subscribe to see when I post those videos. Anyways, this was Twiistz. I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. If you did, type in hashtag Team Twiistz into the comments so I know how awesome you are. But anyways, this was Twiistz once again, and I'll see you guys next time.